How do you think it should be approached, the issue of choosing partners? Is it supposed to be at the beginning, in the middle, when we have had the children?
No, I think at the beginning is better. First, before even choosing a partner, you must be able to know which kind of family do I want to have.
Okay.
Which kind of children do I want to raise? Do I want to raise children that are going to long for affection? Children that will always feel insecure? Children that will never feel as if they are enough? So you need to put all that into consideration. So by the time you go and choose that person, you must be able to see that this person is like this. He has this kind of characters. This is his personalities. And since people are not 100% perfect, they're the other side that you can say, okay, this, we can work it out. It's okay. We can work on this. We can keep together for a lifetime. I can guarantee this, but we shall keep working on these small things. So I think we should put it at the beginning before even we start going into dating, into looking for partners, settling down with a person. First, imagine which kind of family do I want to have, you as a person. Because now if you don't think about it, you'll be like, maybe the other person will come and think, what of you now? So it's you as a person to say, this is exactly what I want. If you want black and white, don't go and look for yellow and orange mixed. No, just go for the black and white. And if it's not there, wait, try to find ways, find the black and white. Yeah.
Okay. So you should know what you want from the start. So it's very possible that we actually get into relationships when we don't know what we want.
It is. Sometimes you get carried away by emotions. And you go. Yeah. So I think that's why there is this saying that they say, when you're going to buy something which is valuable, don't ever go with money.
Oh, okay.
If you're looking for a plot or you want to rent a house, obviously the plot, I'm going to be with it for 10 years, 100 years. So at first, don't go with money. Go like that. Look at this plot. Check the other one. Check the other one. Then go back home and say, okay, I looked at 10 plots. Which one is better now? Now, make the right decision. That one is near the road. Don't work for me. That one, I have a lot of neighbors. I don't think it will work. So, by the time you make a right decision, you'll be like, yeah, now here I can go with money. But if you go with money, you'll find one. You'll love it and say, I have money. I'm just buying this one. Not knowing the issues that come along with it. Yeah, so.
Wow. I hear you. Okay. So, choosing partners, I totally agree. And I love the way you have related it to going to purchase things. So it is okay for us to have as many options as possible, even when we are choosing partners.
Yeah.
I love the way you have put it, before you go deep into committing to this person, get as many options as possible.
Yes.
And I think that's the stage we call dating stage. Get to date whoever that you want.
Yeah.
It's just that we confuse when people say they are dating, they're actually sleeping together already. But then you wonder,
the confusion.
Are you dating or you are committed already? Yeah, so we date as many people as we can, get to choose with an informed mind. Yeah. You've gone, you've checked out your plots of land. This one is near the road. This one has many neighbors. This one is isolated. This one has no power. It has no water.
Yeah.
This one is on a hill. This one is in the valley.
Yeah.
I can I'll take the one on the hill. No neighbors to what? But, when you have taken time, I think I got you really clearly on that. You guys still have a lot.
Yeah, there is this person, he's called Benjamin Zulu, and he says a relationship, dating, when you're choosing a partner, it's like an interview. When someone comes for an interview, put them there. Don't tell them, you have the job already. No. First person, interview, not yet there. next, next, until you get the right person and like, yeah, this is ready for the job. Do as many interviews as you can, as long as you get the perfect one for the job.
Okay. So it's actually a principle that we can apply in most areas of our lives.
And the thing with us youths, like the young people, the young parents coming out, we are selfish. We are so selfish. We only think about ourselves. You're thinking about your emotions. This person, I love him, I can't leave him. And yet you don't know, if you are a girl, a lady or a woman, the first gift you're going to give to your child is a good father.
True.
Yeah.
And if you are a man, the first gift you're going to give to your child
It's a mother.
is
A
a
good
mother.
yeah.
So if you're there being selfish only to yourself, it's going to affect your children. And once it affects your children, it's going to affect the children of your children. So this is where we see a lien. How is it called again in English? Like family tie. It becomes
the
a
chain.
Then you start calling about spiritual things. It's
The
not
lineage.
even. It's not even about spiritual stuff. No, it's you that brought it up. You were so selfish in love.
Yeah.
So don't be selfish. As you are loving, use also your head. You know, you use. I always say you use every part of your body. You use your eyes to examine someone. You use your ears to hear what he's bringing out.
Yeah.
Even your head, you must think. Like, you think about the future. Don't just see things here. See even from afar. If your physical eyes cannot take you beyond the four corners, at least pray, God help me. For you think God can only show to prophets. No, he can even show to you. He won't come like this down and shows you everything. No, he will just there are just certain things that will be going on in your relationship. You're not seeing it. Those are already signs. Like they're red flags, but for you can't even understand them.
Because you're too selfish.
Yeah, so just let us stop being selfish. Let's also mind about me. I usually say the first gift I'm going to give to my children is a good father.
Should we call it the best? The best father?
The best.
Even the bestest. Because if I'm there, I'm dating you, man, you don't have time for me. Every time you're occupied, every time you go this side, you can't, first tell me. I went to a wedding and the preacher said that, here you're marrying this man, but just know every negative things you saw in him, they're not going to reduce, but they're going to multiply. So you'll be ready for it. So me, I'm here, I'm dating you, and you don't have time for me. Will you have time for the children? If me, first of all, you can't have time for me, so will you have time for the children? That means you'll be going on and off, that separation. And yet, it's always good to be in a harmonious family. The family whereby there is harmony. The mother is there, the father is there, the children are there. All of you're nurturing your children. There's that affection. Once a child has affection from the father and the mother, they won't crave to go to a friend or let me do this. No, because already there is harmony in your family and you're not lacking anything. It's not always about money or what. So choose, selfishness is not good. Let us stop being selfish.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I love the way you have explained selfishness. And I believe I've been so selfish. Oh my. Okay. So at the end of that day, the selfishness eats you up.
Yeah.
Because as you're very busy thinking about yourself, I love this man, I love this girl, and it's just a moment. Then children have come along. You can't do much. Like you said, you saw the red flags really early. But because you're too selfish, you only thought about yourself. You have progressed in this relationship. Children have come along, and this person has just multiplied what you used to see in the beginning. And it becomes very difficult to walk away from. It becomes very difficult to end. Before you know it, separation has happened.
Oh, yeah.
This guy has chosen to go. Let me follow my job. I want to go here, I want to go there, I want,
Yeah.
and you're here. Or you get frustrated and you're like, you know what? Because you're busy chasing your jobs, take your children with you, let me start my life. And you have left them behind, you know? Very sad. Okay, so the partners we choose. Wow. I know that we can talk about that over and over and over,
Yeah.
but I believe that has been explained by Dorcas very amazingly.
Yeah.
Can you look at peer pressure before you look at the effects? What do you have to say about peer pressure?
I think peer pressure is almost also like the partners we choose. How? The friends and the people we associate with, sometimes we may not think of it, but they have a bigger part where they affect our life. Like they
Yeah.
completely change our characters.
Yeah.
They completely change your personality, like you become another person.
Yeah.
So I think that's where peer pressure comes in, whereby you see this friend, he's in a different career, but you feel like, yeah, man, this guy is doing well. I need to do the same career with this. So you not thinking of the consequences simply because this person is doing so well. I think, let me just go with this one. We shall do so well together. Whether it's another fellow girl and like, yeah, we shall be the famous women of the year. Yeah. I was looking at something, and then I saw this list came out and they were putting there the most famous women, the CEOs. I was like, yeah, this is so beautiful. So now
I
imagine.
should be on this list.
Yeah, exactly. I even when I saw it, I texted the person and like, man, I'm looking myself at that list 10 years to come, and like, yeah, I trust you.
Amen.
So now, so now imagine I'm a mother, a young mother. I have children, but I have such friends. Of
Yeah.
course, I'm gonna be under the influence, the pressure to perform, the pressure to bring out the best version of me, not in the mostly the best way to my children, but I want to prove to everyone that I'm worth it.
At work.
Yeah, at work, like, man, I can do this thing. I can be the top one there. So that is the influence the friends have on us. And we end up, without knowing, in the blink of an eye, you already left the children. You're like, I went for this fellowship in the USA, 1 year fellowship, and the kids are home. So you see?
You come back, stay
And
with
you
them
come
for
back
1 week. You
for
go
1
for more
week.
2 years.
Nomination came up. I'm a nominee now. 40 under 40 nominee. The young African leaders. Yeah, so you go. By the time you come back, of course you'll bring the money, you'll bring the gifts for the children, but there is that gap you can
That
never
you
fill.
created, and you can
You
never
can
feel
never
it.
feel it. And that's when parents come and they find the children completely moved on. It was just a 1 month, but the kids are no longer the same. The way they act toward you is too different. Like mentally, they are separated from you already.
Yeah.
Though you are there physically, but man, they are no longer there.
But I believe even the parents get separated
Yeah.
emotionally. The effects are so profound on the
Yeah.
child. But even you, as you're getting soaked into your job, you know, you want to be up there, you want to be the nominee of the year, you want to be in the achievers of the year, you
Yeah.
want to be in that fellowship, you get detached as well. Why? Because I want to believe that the things that we prioritize are the things that come first in our minds,
Yes.
right? So if you're fronting your job, it means that's what is in your mind. That's what comes top first on, you know. And then the children, you also give them a number, and that's the number you'll be attending to. If they're number
Yeah.
3, they'll appear in your thoughts later. Or sometimes they maybe need to remind you, do you know that you have kids at home? Like, oh my God, I need to go back home. Then you start rushing back home. Why? They're not your priority.
Yeah.
You know, you have gotten detached. Very sad. Okay. I also want to add on that. Peer pressure, in a way, it comes in ways that we may actually not pay attention to. Peer pressure can be positive are negative as
Yeah.
well. So usually we think hanging around people who seem, in quotes, to be okay, positive about life, they're succeeding, like what you're saying, nominee of the year, you in the young achievers, you are in here. It may feel good because that's the circle, but the influence on you is totally negative. You know why? Because the kind of things they are achieving require them to actually abandon
Yes.
the children or get separated. You are not raising, you're not nurturing. Why? You spend most of your time working. You want to be at the top. You want to hit the targets. You want to be, the one meeting
Everywhere.
the deadlines. You're everywhere.
Yeah.
But then, unfortunately, you are not performing back with your children. It's I don't know if you've heard about people who are so amazing in their communities out there. They're so good. They're amazing uncles to all the children. At work, they are prompt on time, The boss will write an excellent, recommendation.
Report.
When it comes to friends, they're always showing up, they are here. But when you ask their children, they're going to tell you the opposite.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
If it is hugging and spending, that cozy time with you are not present. When they say, we are going for swimming this weekend, you take them 2 hours to end of the activity or 1 hour, And you find that you're total opposite, The community you are spending the most of your time with, where you want to perform, where your influence comes from the most, it's actually turning out to be very negative on you.
Oh, yeah.
And before you realize, you have children growing up without a father or a mother, and yet you are physically here, So I want us to look at this more broadly, because usually we concentrate on those who have flown out of the country, mommy or daddy is not present. You go to study, mommy and daddy is not present. But there are those that are physically present and very absent,
Yeah.
I think that's even more hurtful. Because you expect daddy or mommy to be present. They are. Maybe you peeped at them in the night, you were dozing, but they came back and you saw someone passing looking like mommy or daddy. You wake up, they are gone. They'll spend some weeks away from home or serious hours from home. They'll come back and find you asleep. A day you try to be with them, maybe they'll be very busy on the computer trying to work on something.
Oh, yeah.
So they are present physically. They're actually around physically, but they're not present in your life.
Yeah, God will forgive me. I'm going to talk about pastors. That one is common with them. I'm not insulting any pastor out there, but I just want to, this is common with them. At church, they will be there for every person in the church, like every member. They will counsel them. What are you going through in your family?
They even come to visit you.
They come and visit you, like, what are you going through? Spiritually, they will be there for you. Physically, they'll be there for you.
Financially,
they will be there. Financially, they will be there. But go back in their family.
Wow.
That's another story. You get? So you see such issues, like there's no time there between the father and the children to even sit, relax, talk. I don't know if any pastor has ever gone there and be like, let me counsel my child now. My child, come. What are you facing?
Yeah.
Oh, my wife, you sit with them.
Yeah.
But you find them with seminars. No, this time I'm going here. I'm going here. I'm going here. I'm going here. They'll be there. Move from one place to another, having seminars. Can you imagine? You have seminar from morning to evening, morning to night. Like, when will you have time for your family? And yet that's I know we are serving God, it's good. But also our God is a God of order.
I believe our
You get?
primary responsibility is with our families, even with our leaders. I want to agree.
Yeah.
So what Dorcas is saying is, I believe it is our daily life. I see this happening every day in our community.
We want to be there for other people, but we don't want to be there for the people
For
who are
our
close.
people,
Yeah. And it's that's
Very
the
sad.
yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
Sad.
I think even when they come back home, it's just a moment with God. Show me one more other person. Who am I going to talk to next?
And yet, even when they talk about those other, they say even charity begins
At home.
So everything must begin at home,
home.
then you take it outside.
Oh,
You
sure.
cannot give out something that you don't have.
True.
If I love myself, that means I'll love Momo,
True.
I'll love Esther.
True.
But if I
Yeah.
don't love myself, how will I go and love other people? So if you are already jumping from your home, you don't show that thing. You go outside and I'll
give it.
call that like just, I even don't know which one I can give it.
Okay, so I believe for me, you've opened my mind to something. So then what are we giving out there? Are we pretending? Are we acting? Because
we are giving out theory. There's what we call, when we
No
go to
practical.
school, yeah, there's theory and practical.
yeah,
So when you're going out there, you're just giving out theory. Like, you're just telling them, being there, what. The practical stuff is supposed to be done at your home. Because it's at your home that you practice everything. So outside there, you're just putting that knowledge of, okay, I'm
yeah.
supposed to go and counsel people and do them and do this, do that. So all that you read or all that you know, you're just going to apply them. But being practically, really doing something, I don't see it.
yeah, and it's very sad.
Yeah.
You just want to show people that, no, I'm there, I'm doing my duty. You want other people to see you good. First begin at your home. And then you can go outside there.
Yeah.
So that will be real, actually. Because if your children can attest to how kind and loving you are, then the people you're counseling in the church will actually be taking cream, because this is not duplicated. This is
yeah.
not forced. This is not coming from space.
Yes.
The people have actually tested it, So when you go and give it out there, when the ones you've left at home are saying, what the hell is that? I've never heard about my father asking someone, are you okay? What is disturbing you? It sounds like a story to them. Like someone is telling the story of this man who is amazing, caring, a counselor, But when to them, you're something different.
Yeah.
So is that pretense? What should we call it?
Yeah, it's pretense.
What is it? Because like Dorcas said, you can't give what you don't have. But then you are not giving this at home or to your children, but you're giving it to people in the church.
I
What's
think
that?
There is this thing that, when you're a pastor, everyone expects you to do something. So you're doing it out of I need to reassure people that I'm this kind of person.
Yeah.
I need to reassure people I don't care about what my family people are going to say, but these guys, what will they say? So that's the thing.
Sad. I believe a primary responsibility for anyone who has a family is their family.
Yeah.
And other things follow. That's what I want to believe. So peer pressure has also played a big role in separation of children from their parents, clearly, from what we've seen. Can we quickly look through the effects? We have looked into all these things: career, the persons that we've chosen to choose for our partners, the peer pressure.
Yeah.
What are the effects that have been left behind?
I'll start with
separation.
Schizophrenia. Yeah. That's whereby you see the child not acting like any other child, or is being lost in his or her own world. That's one effect I can talk about. And that's really common, whereby if the father is not around, you get. So another effect I'll talk about is as you're a child, you're seeing children with their parents, mother, father around. So it will lead you to grave for that affection of a father. But the only person who can be your father is your father. Because if you go...
You can't forge another one.
No, you cannot forge another one. Because you see, in this world, there are lots of stuff happening. You see a man of 60 like harassing a girl of 10, 12, like no shame. You
Yeah.
get. So in that process of you going to another father to grab for that affection, he might take advantage of you.
True.
You
Yeah,
get.
true.
So there is that effect whereby you only see the rest of the fathers. You can't give them the same love that you'd want to give to your father, or the same way you want to play with your father. You play with his nipples, you play with his hairy body, like his hairy what. You know, there's that thing whereby you come and you play with his head, so you can't do it to another person's father, because that will be really abnormal.
But like you've said, your father is your father, honestly. There are people who grow up and they say they have spiritual fathers. They say they have found father figures in their workplaces or in their neighborhoods. But the truth is, no one can be your father except your biological father. And when that affection doesn't come from them, it leaves a huge gap in someone's life.
Because you know, with my father, I can come, I touch your head, I play with
There
it
is
the way I
freedom.
want.
Yeah.
Freedom. If you're hairy, I come, I touch your hair, I touch it on the body. Like, you know, there's that thing, you're free. But you can't go ahead and do that to your spiritual father. Even the wife will be like, what's this? So, you know, there are those limitations. You find yourself limited. You can't. So, yeah.
So we get affectionate deficient. I don't know how to call it. You lack the affection. So is that for both?
Yeah.
Father absent or mother absent?
I think
a
it's
child
for
will
both.
for both.
Yeah.
Okay. Esther,
Yeah,
what
I
do you have
think-
to say? Effects.
Yeah, I think one other thing that comes out of separation, parents may not realize it as the child is growing, but when the child is now old enough, they're going to be mentally unstable. Like, you know, the emotions are not clear because they are not sure of whom to trust.
Yeah.
They fail to trust even if the right people are coming into their lives. They still feel like, I trusted my mom and she still went.
Left.
I trusted my dad, but he never considered the trust we gave him. Like, we gave him too much love, but he didn't look at it. He said it was nothing and he left. So there we come and we find people totally, they don't trust others.
Yeah.
They don't, even if you assure them how much you love them, they'll still
never
think you are lying.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one
agree.
effect of separation that also comes, and
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Mistrust. So the mistrust we are actually dealing with in our later on as adults relationships, it's actually coming from childhood.
childhood traumas.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. So I can imagine dealing with a man. He has mistrust from childhood, and I think I'm the one who has a problem. I'm doing
yeah.
wrong things.
Yeah.
Okay. So any other effect?
Well, there are so many. Others might go into prostitution because, you know, the mother is there. Because, you know, the father is the one with authority. Once a father gives an order, you know, everything, some people will follow.
Yeah.
So you find out like some girls or the boys will go for drugs because the mother is there. The mother now is responsible to go and look for what to eat, put something on the table. You know, I'm talking about the separation of divorce now. Divorce whereby you're left alone, single mother. You're separated with your husband, and then you find out like you don't have that time to nurture your children well. So the girls, because of peer pressure, they'll be going out, follow every kind of stuff around there, pick any kind of characters, they go with it. The boys, they'll go into drugs, marijuana, what. So it's really, and you find out other children, they become mistreated.
Yeah.
For example, if your parents, now this case is for divorce, if now you're left with your dad, and then your dad brings in another woman, that woman will make you the maid. she'll make you everything, like you're responsible for washing her clothes, the laundry, the dishes, the utensils,
food.
like cooking food, everything on you. So also that effect is there.
Yeah.
Yes, Esther.
I think one more thing that comes up with when it comes to separation is whereby children come and like they grow up, but there is this feeling inside that I'm not enough.
Yeah.
I'm not enough. I'm unworthy.
Yeah.
Even if the parent explained to the child, I'm leaving because I'm going to look for a better future for you, they'll still feel like that wasn't reason enough for you to go. So they grow up looking for affirmation.
Yeah.
And when you find people that, when someone knows your weaknesses,
Yeah.
they can easily manipulate you.
Absolutely.
I know Esther wants to only be affirmed that, you're cool, you're okay. So now I'll find all the ways to keep telling you the affirmative words. So there I'll easily manipulate you, do
Yeah.
whatever I want with
Yeah.
you. And you come to realize that it didn't
Use
just
you for whatever
exactly.
you want.
It didn't just come because you grew up and you find that person and started manipulating because you grew up
Your
with that
childhood.
thing.
Yeah, I totally agree. And when you talk about mental instabilities or emotional instabilities, like you have tried to break down, I believe they even take a larger spectrum.
Yeah.
The mistrust you've talked about, anger issues.
Yes.
Some of them come from there. Someone is bitter because their parent left them behind. And to date, 30 years later, someone has never got an answer, a proper answer as to why their parent left. The best place they can displace that anger to is the person in their life.
Yeah.
So we have anger management problems. We have mistrust, you talked about it. We have yearning for affirmations, like you have said. You find someone moving from relationship to relationship
Yeah.
because they feel like this man doesn't affirm me enough. This woman doesn't affirm me enough. And it is streaming from their childhood, They don't feel valued because they're looking for someone to attach a huge amount of value on them.
Yeah.
They don't value themselves enough. Why? Because their mother left, because their father left. So I was not so valuable enough for you to stay for me. I was not valuable enough for my mom to stay or to take me with her, And this person grows up feeling unvalued. That even like you said, Esther, even if you come in their lives and you treasure them, you pamper them, you give them this and this, every beautiful thing you can ever think of, it's not enough. Why? Feeling not valued is actually in their soul.
Yes.
It's in their blood. And these emotional instabilities take a toll on so many other aspects of our lives later on. Work, you'll not just feel not valued by a person in your life. Even work, you'll do this, you do that. Even if your supervisor says, this is amazing, you feel like,
I wish the boss said it, not him.
exactly. Like nothing ever comes full for you,
Yeah.
And it is sad. You're going to find people that want to be accepted everywhere. We all know that you can't be accepted everywhere.
Yeah, definitely.
You can't be loved by everyone, You collide with this one, you get along with this one. This one will like you, this one won't like you. But because of our childhood, issues, my mom left, my dad left me alone. You think everyone in the office is just against you.
Yeah.
And yet they are not, When people leave you on that desk in class, you're like, me, the whole class doesn't like me.
I knew it.
And you are just displacing your childhood issues on other people. Why? You were left behind. You were left alone, So it, like Dorcas said, there are so many. We may not be able to mention each and every one of them. But I hope you're listening out there to us. You can relate with one or two things from this. If you are a new mother, if you're a new father, if you are planning to have a family, if you're planning to choose a partner, separation is never going to leave your children the same. Whether you have gone to bring the best world to them whether you've gone to bring all the money in the world to them, as long as you are separated from your children and you have not given them the right grounds or the right background or the right, should I call it, foundation, yes, as you're bringing them up, you are going to affect them in ways that you never take back.
Yeah.
So what does that mean for us? Before we choose to bring children in this life, in this world, you can hustle your things to death. It's okay. You can see this one, you can see that one. It's all right. But when you choose to bring children in the picture, then be ready, to take up these, both for the men and for the women. It is very sad that the community believes children are for a woman to raise, It is very sad. At the end of the day, we have learned, we have heard. Esther and Dorcas are very young girls, by the way. You're not seeing them, I'm seeing them on your behalf. They are young girls and they are representing so many young people today. Affection is all parents can ever give to their children. Esteem will never be affected. Confidence will never be affected. Trust will never be damaged. Affirmation will always be clear in their minds. Those are things that they cannot grow up to buy. No man can give them, no woman can give them. Feeling content and fulfilled, they are not things that human beings sell to us. But parents can give them to children as gifts, raising them. Thank you for listening to us. It's been amazing sharing this space with you. It's been amazing sharing our knowledge, our experiences with you. Catch you next time. Thank you so much. You have been such a great listener. This has been made possible by Refugee Law Project under the School of Law, Makerere University. For more such podcasts, check out our social media platforms. It is Rendezvous Youth Group. Catch you next time.